Hi, and welcome to On Track. I'm your host, Patrick Murphy. Today we have Glen Murschel and Jim Wright with us. Hi, and welcome to On Track. I'm your host, Patrick Murphy, and today we have Glen Murschel and Jim Wright. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. You want me to go first?
Sure.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah, my name's Jim Wright. I'm, I don't know where to start. I'm a part-time musician, but full-time tradesman, and I don't know, my passion is music. I can't ever seem to get away from it. And, you know, that just kind of keeps me going, you know, keeps me sane, I guess. It's cheaper than hiring a psychologist or whatever. So.
Yeah, Jim and I are actually high school mates. He went to Gordon Tech, started out at. I went to Lane Tech in Chicago. And we've always been in and out of bands and doing different things. We decided to do kind of an acoustic duo,
right,
and play on the weekends. We normally play once or twice a month. And yeah, we enjoy what we do. So.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So how did you guys meet? You mentioned high school, but how did this all come together?
Well, my old buddy Chuck Gomez was, we went to grammar school together, and he went going to Lane Tech and shared a locker with this guy.
Lucky him, huh?
Right. And then, so, you know, so Chuck was like, hey, Jim, there's you know, my locker partner plays guitar. Maybe you want to, maybe you guys ought to get together and jam or whatever, you know. So we did, you know, and we kind of hit it off, and, you know, whatever, 30-some years later, here we are.
I think our first band was called Technical Ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
Named after a Sabbath album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we met, back in high school.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little background on your music experience? When did you start? Did you guys take lessons, that kind of thing?
Sure, yeah. Originally in late grammar school, mid-grammar school, I took violin lessons, and then I discovered the Beatles through some records my mom had. And one particular album she had was K-Tel's #1 hits of the 60s.
I had
so there
that
was
one.
things on, yeah, like the Turtles, the Animals, the Monkees, the Birds. All the animal type of groups were on there, and Beatles, and
The
so
British Invasion.
just British Invasion things.
Yeah.
So just learning songs off that, and later we developed other influences, more in the hard rock vein, like Rush and Sabbath, UFO, Judas Priest, and then we discovered progressive rock. Yes, Genesis, King Crimson,
Right.
Pink Floyd, and then we kind of got into some blues things too, like Zeppelin type bands, and so that's how we kind of evolved, like musical sponge is what we really
All right.
did, so,
Yeah.
So can you give us a really quick overview of the first song you'll play for us?
Sure. It's called Dance in the Garden. It's about a vampire who travels the world, kind of an overdose of Anne Rice and Christopher Lee. And part of a suite of songs in the horror genre that I've been working on and have yet to release. Some of them I released and some I didn't. But this one's about a vampire.
Cool. We'll give that a listen right now.
All right.
Dance in the garden, in the middle fly, let's run. The ocean sings majestic songs. You call I love me, my love for you is strong, so strong. Dance in the garden on a warm English night. Love me on the beach in the Cairo light. Dance in the garden, see the Paris sights. Love me on the beach in the dark LA night. In the dark, dance in the garden. Oriental whispers in my ear. Dance in the garden. Asian secrets ever near. Middle Eastern treasures in Tangier. All eternal night, always love, never fear, never fear. Dance in the garden on a warm Irish night. Love me on the beach in Sri Lankan light. Dance in the garden on a Jakarta night. Love me on the beach in the Sydney light. In the Miami night.
Every child is curious.
George, look what I found.
Turn their curiosity into a lifelong love of learning. Create a curious reader.
This is super bedtime reading.
Share a book together today. Visit read.gov.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Hi, and welcome back to On Track. I'm your host, Patrick Murphy, and today we have Glen Murschel and Jim Wright with us. So, can you describe your music writing process for us, like your lyrics, the songs, where do they come from?
Well, normally I do it both ways. So sometimes I'll write the lyrics first and then write the music, kind of based on what I'm writing about within the lyrics. Other times we'll just have, Jim and I will come up with bits and pieces, kind of turn it into a song and then write the lyrics later, usually based on the chord structures, major or minor, things that we're doing. Influences we get from news stories, people's life stories, just different things.
Glen doesn't write many love songs.
Not too many, just a couple.
What would you describe your genre as?
I would think we're more oriented towards progressive rock, although that's kind of a loosely based term. A lot of people think that's like Pink Floyd, Yes, Genesis type of vein. But we also like a lot of modern acts too. But we tend towards that 70s British progressive style, which we kind of grew up with. So.
Yeah, okay. So what kind of music do you guys like to listen to on your own?
Oh man, I'm all over the
A
map.
lot.
Like, I love blues. I love heavy rock. You know, I always fall back to classic rock, but you know, I you guys, whatever, man. If like, I can't hardly listen to the radio because I've heard those same 25 songs my whole life. You know, so like, you know, there's like much better classic rock than what is offered on FM radio nowadays. But yeah, as far as that goes, man, you know, I'm all over the map, man. I love jazz, blues, but I really, when I come down to playing, you know, it just comes out as rock, like blues rock, whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. And but yeah.
I've got a few different things. I grew up on classical. I took violin and then studied classical guitar at first, so a lot of classical. My wife's from Brazil, so I really enjoy Brazilian and world music. Not just the usual things that we hear on the radio. A lot of blues, progressive rock, alternative rock, different styles.
Yeah, all right. So can you give us a quick rundown of the tribute song and On the Run?
Sure. The tribute song is based on, there's a lot of tribute bands out there. You see guys doing whatever, Pink Floyd,
Journey,
Tom Petty, Journey. And we admire that you can pull that thing off, but really you're not being yourself, you're being somebody else. So we kind of put that song together. Mm-hmm. It's not a cut down to people who do tribute acts. We're just saying, you know what, be yourself. Maybe you can branch out and do something else, do your own thing. So that's that. Yeah. On the Run, I wrote while living in Florida on a stormy evening, and the sky was purple, and it was just rain gushing everywhere. And I was driving and, you know, kind of worked my way home in the storm. I was living with my wife in Florida at the time and put that song together, and I really was driving an Oldsmobile during it, which is part of the song. So that's what that one's about.
Cool. Let's have a listen.
Looked in the paper for a band to see. Stevie Ray, and R.E.M., and AC/DC. 10 different Zeppelins, Pink Floyd from A to Z. Whatever happened to originality? The clubs all want you to be someone else. Others sell, they say, but don't sell yourself. To play your songs would be a sin. Don't you wanna be Journey or Eddie Van Halen? Tribute to everyone, sounding like no one. Why write your own song when there's a million other ones? Don't like tributes. Sick of Elvis. Being someone else is very selfish. When I pass along into the someone come along and start a tribute to me. Tribute to everyone, sounding like no one. Why write your own song? And there's a million other ones. Tribute to everyone, sounding like no one. We're sounding like no one. Why play your own song? And there's a million other ones. Hey! The General Motor roars through the night, cutting fog that clings to the earth like a steel of a surgical knife. I wonder about my life. Oh, I wonder. I can barely see the dashboard lights soaring through the countryside. I see no billboards, no tourist sites. Such is my life. The engine screams like a horse that's run wild. Machine and man are now as one. Draw me forward like some hell's child. The devil's got me on the run. On the run. On the run. On the run. The night is black as coal and ink. Is the day really so far away? No time for fear, I can hardly think. But the Lord shows me the way. Only one thought on my mind as I slow the Oldsmobile down. To get home to my love I'll somehow find. The devil's got me on the run. 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 On the run.
Jimmy can't sing,
and Tommy can't dance.
so we're gonna put some ants in their pants.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, singing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Yeah. Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, and welcome back to On Track. I'm your host, Patrick Murphy. If you're just tuning in, we have Glen Murschel and Jim Wright with us. So can you guys tell us where we can find you online, upcoming projects, that kind of stuff?
Sure. It's glenmurschel.com, G-L-E-N, and then M-U-R-S-C-H-E-L.com. You can hear our songs. We have one album out already. We have another one coming out early this year. It'll be called On the Run. You can find us on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby. What else, Jim?
Spotify.
Spotify.
Yep.
Yep.
And you can find Glenn at the South Barrington Potbelly at lunchtime on every Saturday.
Every Saturday I do a solo gig. Sometimes Jim joins me, and Jim plays with me. We usually do 1 or 2 shows a month in the evenings on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. So can you give us a brief description of the last couple songs you'll play for us real quick?
Sure. Escape the Winter. It's about getting home safe in the storm. Says it like it is. Chicago winter, we don't like. We want summer. The one after that's called Working the System. It's about some drama at your workplace. Everyone has it. And that's what that one's about. Right, Jim?
Right on.
He's got drama at his workplace.
All right.
Yes.
This is Escape the Winter and Working the System.
Fly south, my child, to escape the cold on the wings of a summer dove. In with the new, out with the old, we live our lives with love. Escape the winter, my lovely one. Run away from snow and rain. You give to me now, I'll give to you. We've left everything to be one true. Let's pack it all. Let's drive away before the leaves turn autumn brown. And the cold wind blows the warmth away and turns our smiles to frown. Escape the winter, my lovely one. Run away from snow and rain. You sing your song, I'll sing mine too. We've left everything to be one true. Escape the winter, my lovely one. Run away from snow and rain. You sing your song, I'll sing mine too. We've left everything to be one true. they don't do jack. Still collecting all that cash. There's a man at your work. He's working the system. There's a man at your work. He's working the system. Coffee breaks all day. I'm still collecting his pay. There's a woman at work. She's working the system. There's a girl at your work. She's working the system. Got promoted today. No, a boss who ain't gay. Yeah, Jim. People at your work, they're working the system. People at your work, they're working the system, yeah. They don't do drag. Still collecting all their cash. Feel I'm gonna crash. I'm working the system.
Thanks for watching On Track. I'm your host, Patrick Murphy, and a special thanks to Glen Murschel and Jim Wright. See you next time.